fleshies, welcome to my lair. We're at a slightly different place today, out of necessity. I also had my head on wrong. The things I do. Ugh. Now then, let's see what I can do. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Hi, Upgrade. How are you? Yes. More or less. Glad to hear it. Unfortunately, the technology, the magic that lets me, or I should say, the magic device that lets me see, the magic device that lets you see me, wasn't charged. So I couldn't be where I needed to be. So I'm here instead, which means I should have grabbed the phone. There's always something. I'm struggling today. Upgrade. A little bit struggling. I want a second pair of hands. It's only 1:13 and I haven't even started yet. Well, let's see. View channel. That's what I want. Okay. I think. To turn off. Hello? Okay. Now that I fiddle-faddled and wasted your time, let's get dark. Good, good. Okay. Hi, fleshies. Time to grab your blankets, your snacks, and pull up your favorite tombstone as we enter the boneyard. Today we're talking about my favorite baddies. Ah, I like that one too. Today we're talking about my favorite baddies in the story so far. I suppose you all have your favorites, and I would love to hear about them in the comment section. Let's dive into my favorite baddies in the story so far. Now, she really is that scary, but I suppose if you don't like porcelain dolls, she might scare the pants out of you. But my broken is like 0 on my list. The baddie in waiting for you, now she is a baddie worth remembering. Imagine spending time in the forest fishing near a creek. When she comes up out of the water, you might just receive a fatal hug. The question is, will you listen to the guardian's words? Or will you be like James in the story and not listen? I don't know about you, but if I'm spending time on the Great Lakes, I don't want to meet up with any lake monsters. I guess that is why my baddie in Gray Days made the list. Now, vampires are scary, no doubt about it. But honestly, there's nothing scarier than a werewolf. I mean, their breath is horrible and all, but my werewolf, and the one and only one, earns its way on the list. And that's when Charlie's nephew showed up. And Charlie just had to spend time with the little guy. Otherwise, he's not being a very good uncle. Also, he had to babysit today. Gosh darn it. The Phantom Wolf was an interesting one because it is a ghost and it's sort of a baddie, but not too scary. You could share it with your nieces and nephews and not feel like they're going to have nightmares. Sorry, my eyes. Yay! Next up isn't just one baddie, but two baddies. It's a microscopic horror, silent and unseen. And you get it from your drinking water. Can you imagine taking a gulp of water just to end up with an alien life form inside of it? Fleshies? Then there's drowning, where perhaps there are two baddies. One, a little boy who doesn't want you to enter the water, and then the other ghost. I personally like drowning. It's one of my favorite stories that Charlie has written. Something about the fresh air and a couple of friends that just make the story feel so much warmth. Next up, we have the Halloween Mask. Now, I was told the Halloween Mask is one of those stories that scared people. I don't understand why. It's just a little ghoul feeding on your fear. Is that so scary? I suppose if you could see its face, it might be scary, but honestly, it's just out there doing what all the other little ghouls are doing on Halloween, getting candy and trying to scare the pants out of you. Really, it's not so bad. I do need to say a couple things today. First off, my heart goes out to the people who suffered because of the volcano. I may be a ghost and somebody you may not want to meet on a dark night, but I still have feelings. Then there isn't really a bad guy, but I like what happens in brighter days. Imagine getting trapped inside a tomb or a mausoleum until daybreak. That would get on my nerves. Room number 18 with all of its ghosts and ghouls. Also one of my favorite stories. Imagine staying in a hotel that's built on a place that had soldiers moving in and out of it. Ghosts are so much fun. Don't you think so, Upgrade? By the way, how's the heat? I hope it's not too bad. Then there's Lydia. Now Lydia lives in Charlie's Tale, Laid to Rest. It's the type of story that takes place when one is dealing with heat. Sorry. It's the type of story, it deals with a topic that may be a little hard to deal with for some people. Lydia is buried alive and unfortunately loses her life inside her coffin. And you can feel her if you visit the boneyard. Now that's a cozy little thought. Imagine being a mortician and having your next subject jump off the table at you. That's what happens in Jumped Up. And it even talks. Tied to the world, not really scary. Another story where the water is the enemy. It will happen. Believe that is another one of my favorites. And that baddie is really bad. It's about an uncle. No, it's about a grandpa. Whose nephew becomes a werefrog of all things. Personally, I love it. Doesn't every kid want to have a frog for a pet at some point in their life? Then there's Dr. Proctor, who's dying because of a curse. The Curse of the Pharaohs. To be precise, It Will Happen Part 2 also deals with one of my friends. It's the second part to my Werefrog story. If you haven't read it, you really should. It'll have you hopping in fear, I hope. Do, 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 do. In hiding, we deal with some friends of mine, Puckwudgies. And boy, do they really nail it to the fleshies. Sorry, fleshies. A group of fleshies go camping, and the Puckwudgies send them scurrying away because they can't take the heat. Think of Puckwudgies being little goblin-like creatures who can shoot poisoned arrows and have a fun old time doing it. Have you ever wanted to own land that was held sacred by people that lived long ago? That's what happened in Signs. The land is held sacred by Native Americans. And when they can no longer be appeased, the land fights back, as do the creatures that live on the land, until the homeowners allow them the right to appease them again. It's always fun. Imagine a wealthy business owner developing creatures that they've released onto the land, creatures that shouldn't be on the land to begin with. That is what happens in letting it out. Short-faced bears are unleashed upon an unsuspecting public, and they ravage a town. I've always wanted a cute little bear. Charlie tells me I can't, but it doesn't mean I don't want one. Peril is one of my favorite stories. But the baddie in this story is really the game pieces themselves. and the cursed card. That story will be getting a 2. Actually, it's not much of a part 2 as much as it is a sequel with new cards and new playing pieces as well. If you like board games, this is one you should buy if you could. It'll give you a hauntingly fun evening. Imagine being stuck like a statue because your playing card comes alive and turns you into stone, or buries you alive until the end of your next turn. Imagine being at home when there's a knock at your door and it's your dad or mom or your son or daughter and they want to be let in. Problem is, they're already home. That is what happens in What Do You Want? And the baddie is a ghost with attitude who doesn't want to be left alone. Do you like houseplants? Do you like gardening? My next baddie is a plant with bites. A little Venus flytrap that's been juiced up a little bit. It loves to snack until it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it gets big enough to snack on living things like you and Charlie. Imagine waking up one day and looking up in the sky and seeing a pterodon. That is what happens to some guys in a town in my story in the sky. Not so much a big bad, just an animal out of time. His ending is about a teacher who wakes up in a morgue, but is more zombie than fleshy. A zombie that misses work so badly that he leaves the morgue's table and goes to school to teach his class. Isn't that the type of teacher you would want? Anyway, fleshies, those are some of my favorites. Do you have any more favorite I'm talking faster than my brain is running faster than I can get words out. Do you have other favorite baddies from my stories? A lot of people like the Phantom Wolf. I don't totally get it, but maybe I'm not supposed to. I'm hoping at some point to find out when's a good time to go live on this channel. This may not be the best time. Either that, this, I'm not sure which. Coming up, we're going to be monster movies. And it's going to be a movie monster first day. We'll discuss the first time for many different things in monster movies. Maybe it's the first time that a vampire actually bit somebody's neck. Or the first time that you see a vampire turn into a bat on screen. Do you know what movie that takes place in? I do. And it's not one of my more favorite monster movies. Also coming up this month, we will be looking at animal hybrids again and chimeras. I did this once before, but I got in trouble. Big trouble. Because I had kids that got scared. We're doing it again in 2 weeks. And then it'll be time for what we found in the boneyard. It should be fun. I can already see that I need to make one change. In my lives. I do have a new story that I need to get typed up and filmed, but I can do that today, I hope. Is it pausing? Maybe it's just me, but it seems laggy. I love going live and being here with you guys. I just wish there were more of you here. Yeah, there's issues. I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's the device that I'm on, but it keeps buffering. So hopefully it's not too bad on everybody else's end. I'm ready for a nap. I've been up since 5 o'clock. I don't know if I need to. I don't know how to do the storytelling. Maybe that's my problem. The Phantom Wolf was definitely done. It was scripted. It was just weird. It was also done such that I was able to be in a spot that actually looked sort of scary, atmospheric, in a manner of speaking. At any rate, have a good one, fleshies. I'm having a hard time keeping Charlie awake. I know the hour isn't up, but I think he's falling asleep. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Don't let the vultures bite. And I'll see you in the next one, fleshies. Goodbye, fleshies. Are you in there, fleshies? Have a good one, fleshies. Somebody invite me over. I need a good bite. Now, how do I...